Okay, as some of you know, I started on the path to reloading my own ammunition, and to do so, you need something to clean the brass, the used brass. And I was trying to go about it in the least expensive way, so I decided to purchase the Chicago Electric dual drum rotary rock tumbler. It's 2 3-pound capacity drums, and I purchased it from Harbor Freight. I had a coupon, so it ended up being relatively inexpensive, and I thought, well, you know, 6 pounds total, so that wouldn't be bad. And I'll tell you, the first time I used it, I wasn't all that pleased. I'd let it run for hours and hours, and really it was like 10-12 hours. And the brass was okay, but it wasn't really as shiny as I had seen in many of the videos. And I'll show you how I set up the drums and put it together, and we'll go from there. Okay, so basically I took the used shell casings and I put them inside the drums, and the drums open up. They lay, I'll show you, sideways on the tumbler. So you just set them up, and then it's got this lid that sits inside, and you just pull it out, and this actually goes on top of it, but I'll show you that when we reassemble it. So I put the shell casings in, and I put in about a third full on the shell casings, and then I add in about 4 scoops of 1/3 cup walnut shells, so I guess 1 1/3 cup walnut shells. That's what I put in. The crushed walnut shells, and when it tumbles together, I guess that's how it actually cleans it. I put in some cut up rags. That was actually white when I put it in. It's I had some old napkins that I'd cut up. Sometimes I'll use the gun cleaning rags, whatever I have. And what I did this time that I did not do the last time, or actually what I did this last time that I didn't do the very first time, I should say, I added in the new finish, car polish. I had seen another video. They recommended doing that, and so I just put in literally like just a drop. And because, like I said, the first time I used it, I just wasn't happy. Okay, so this is what the shell casings look like. Well, that one was actually one of the better ones. There's a variety of them. These are already actually cleaned, but this is what they looked like. And so they looked clean. I mean, they were clean inside, but they just didn't, look like what I'd seen other people's looking at. I mean, this is once fired brass here that hasn't been cleaned, and it looked better than what came out of the tumbler. So, like I said, that was the first time. So I wasn't pleased with that, and I had actually told my husband that I was debating if I should either just take it back because it didn't work properly, or what I was going to do. And I decided, you know what, let me do some checking, and I'll try it again. And if it still doesn't work, I'll, decide what to do with it from that point. So anyway, the second time, I did put in the new finish, just literally like a drop in each of the tumblers. Once I added in the shells and the shell casings and the crushed walnut shells, and I added in 2 little rags, which I'd seen other people do. And as you see, these rags pick up a lot of that dirt so it doesn't stay in your walnut shells. When I did that, I was very pleased with the outcome. So the next time, I did 357 shell casings, and they came out nice and shiny. I was very pleased with them. So this time, like I said, I went ahead and I'm doing 9mm shell casings. I have the dies now for 38, 357, 9mm, 223, 556, 45 ACP, 44 Magnum, and I just got the AK-47 round, 7.62 by 39. So next on my list will be the Mosin Nagant 762 by 54. But first things first, these are coming along nicely already, considering how dirty they were. They're already starting to look pretty good, and they've only been in there for about 30-40 minutes before I decided to stop the video and discuss it. So anyway, the dual drum rock tumbler, rotary rock tumbler, 2 drum capacity, does work, and I was pleased with the results. Now I will tell you that I did a lot of reading on it before I purchased it, and it is noisy, but you know, hey, it's supposed to be a rock tumbler, so I wouldn't think it was supposed to be quiet. It comes with extra belts, which is good, and from what I've read, you need to make sure every couple of uses that you take it apart and you give it some oil. Otherwise, they say that that the belts break and that the motor burns out. So I'm not sure how all that relates, because I'm not, you know, a mechanic or anything. But after each use or so, we just open it up, give it some oil, check the belt, and make sure everything's good. So far, so good. I've used it, this is my 4th time now, and I'm pretty pleased. So I guess if you use things properly and follow instructions and suggestions from other people, things will work out pretty well. And one of the videos that I watched that gave me some good information was D. Wilhite. And so check out his YouTube channel, because he's got some good stuff. He's done some reloading videos. Okay, so as you see, it's just like a little tub drum. That's it from the side. And you just press this down in here. Kind of makes a nice good seal. And it's kind of hard to do this one-handed, but let's see. Yeah, see, nice tight. There we go. And then this just flips over and push it down nice and tight. And then it's got the little closing screw here, or nut, I guess you'd call it, whatever it is. And tighten it nice. And it's pretty heavy with all that stuff in there. And then you set it on the rotary. And there's a little on-off switch on the side here. And it just starts to tumbling. Now, some people said that it has a lot of vibration, so don't set it on a table. Honestly, can't say that I've noticed a lot of vibration on it, but you can hear the noise. But, you know, really, the motor itself, if you listen, doesn't make a lot of noise. What you hear is just the noise from the rock tumbling, or the shells tumbling. So, you know, all in all, I can't say it's a big deal. Overall, I'm pleased, and I'm happy that I have a better way to clean my shell casings now.